Wholesome family, welcome. Today I'm giving you a general overview of my main garden. I've done videos about my balcony garden, my kitchen garden, but today I'm just showing you how I'm also restoring and starting to work on my main garden area. Now my main garden is where I have my backyard is behind the highway. My garden is behind the highway, so I tend to have a lot of traffic behind me, so I apologize. um so this is my main garden, and so I tend to plant the tomatoes, the hardy vegetables, and this year, because of the little critters, I am going to attempt to do more vertical and ground. I mean, less in ground, more in bed. So you'll see that I'm starting up my third green stalk and relying more on vertical plants, vertical planters and pots, and do very strategic plants and ground, because I'm just experimenting and I'm not comfortable with little garden snakes, and they were a deterrent for me last time. And so I'm just learning how to have that balance. So this is what I know you know about this plant. I mentioned it in my immunity shot. This is where I get my dandelion greens from. Guys, this is medicine right there. I planted it last year, honestly. It just grew back with a vengeance. And so I come out here when I'm making my immunity shot, or if I'm making a green salad, I'll pick strategically because I want them to grow a lot more. So right here I have dandelion greens, and they're just coming back. I'm setting up here. This is one of my transplant. This is lavender. Is going to live right here. This is elderberry. This is the first time I'm putting this in a pot. This is one of my Vigo garden beds. If you can see, I'm already setting up what I'm going to do here. I haven't fully cleaned up this area. Honestly, that's where I saw the little critter. And so if you notice, I've neglected that area completely because honestly, I need help. I need help to clean out the bed entirely. I started over there, but the only thing that is alive and it's not a weed is my rosemary bush, which I love. So I have to start all over from here. What I'm gonna do is make this my tomato area. So all these tomatoes that I have from start, I'm going to plant them here. I'm gonna put onions behind the marigold, and because I already have green onions that are coming back. These are they're coming back from last season, and I'm so amazed. And then right here, I'm going to have, I already have them in place, some eggplants, not eggplants, zucchini squash. And I know you need two of them, so I'm going to attempt to put two of them there, and then some more onions behind there and some okra. I'm going to take this entire bed and make it herbs because again, I know that these critters don't like herbs. So I'm going to make this more of a herb. So more basil, more marigold, more deterrent. And then behind there, I'm going to clean it, have my husband help me out with that, and then put even more herbs and plants. If you have any suggestions, because they're coming from behind there, my neighbors, see, our stuff is fenced from all the way back there. Theirs isn't fenced. And so it's a problem with this area, with it being, out of my control. So I have to be very strategic of what I plant behind there and make sure whatever I plant there, I'm trying not to get close, are going to deter any little critter that I'm not comfortable with. So that's the plan. And then in this bed, last year I grew, oh my God, there's a mushroom in there. Wow. More green onions because I love them. I make my seasoning with them. So I'm happy that they're coming back. Here's my kid. And I'm going to clean this area up a bit. I really want to put more fruit trees there. Want to say hi? All right, never mind. And yeah, so that's gonna be more fruit trees. My green, my greenhouse hopefully is going to go somewhere here, but that's another topic for a different day. But yeah, this is what the main garden is looking like. I'm going to do these today. And then I've even started cleaning up, like I mentioned before, I have my first two up here. My third green stalk, which is going to be, I already have some plants that are coming back. These are strawberries from last year. Oh my goodness. Like, look how big they've gotten. I actually left this tier out in the winter and they're coming back. So it's so exciting. So this is the fence area. I also have my beauty here, my apple tree. I talk about how much I hug and love this apple tree. So I cannot wait to show you guys what I've been making with my homegrown apples. I have to just beat the bugs, but this time I think I found I found several solutions that I'm going to like that are very natural. So this is my apple tree. We bought the house with this tree. It was one of the selling points for me because I knew I wanted to garden, and having this be there already is the gift that keeps on giving. This apple tree was my, it was very interesting to just watch it the first year because I'm from the city. So we live on Long Island and I'm from Brooklyn, and I've never had an apple tree before. I've never seen an apple tree flower, and I've learned so much from watching this tree, and it's amazing year after year. It amazes me. And then I have my grapevines here. This is not the ideal conditions, but I got grapes from these two, 1 and 2 last year. Unfortunately, I left them uncovered and the squirrels, the birds, got to them before I did. So I only got to sample and they're sweet seeded grapes because you only do seeded. And so I got 2 more plants. I ordered this arch from Temu that I'm gonna put when it arrives. So this is not how it's going to remain, but I'm expecting to get grapes again from this vine and that vine. And this one in the middle that I just planted, definitely next year. So this is what we're looking like. So this is what my main garden looks like currently. I'm planning to, so it's a work in progress. After I do some major cleaning, not on my own, but with help, I'm going to put even more herbs here because again, the plan is to deter these pests. So I'm going to put some lemon balm and mint and lavender here. And then right here, I already planted some blueberries because last year I planted them too close to that tree and the birds got to it before I did. So I planted them here. You can see they're starting to pop up. These are blueberry vines. I might not get blueberries this year, but definitely next year. But I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed. This is my first time with blueberries. So I'm going to make sure there are bushes that are in front of these fence and just cover them as needed because those birds, they have their nest right there, and they kind of make my life impossible. But I understand you have to share with the animals. You have to really, it's balanced with nature, but I'm learning that. I don't mind sharing because I'm planting even more of these bushes of blueberries and blackberries. But the one that I'm having a hard time with is the little snakes because I'm just not a fan. They just scare me, and I have to work that out because I'm not gonna stop gardening, but I don't want to see them. So I do have extra blueberry that I'm going to plant for me and the birds, and then I have some figs. Guys, I've only had a fig Newton. I've never had an actual fig, and I'm like, this is so embarrassing. So I don't know, am I the only one that's my experience? So I'm going to grow some figs, and I'm also going to put some cherry trees there because I want my kids to grow up with a different experience and actually know what fruits and other items look like when they're not packaged. So I really want to have that experience this year. I might not get figs this garden season, but lo and behold, next year. So that's the plan, to restore my garden. I'm probably going to do this right now, maybe on or off camera. But I'm going to show you what everything looks like once I clean this up. So I'm sharing because I just love documenting my journey and seeing, how I started. I don't know, maybe a couple years from now, like 20 years from now, I would have looked back at this video and laugh at myself for being scared of garden snakes. You guys can tell me if that's in my future. But all that to say, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being part of my journey. Thank you for clicking on this video. I don't take your viewership for granted. Thank you for learning from a novice. I hope I've inspired you. If you're scared of critters, to consider gardening, whether it's a kitchen garden, which I advocate for because it has saved my life, or an actual garden if you do have the space. So I cater to both. I rely mainly on my kitchen garden because it's so convenient. It's what I started out with, and then I branch it out into where I have more space because we moved to the suburbs, and so having more space allowed me to get more connected with nature. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye now.